You'll see. All right, here we are again. It's first episode or podcast of In the Zone for the season. All excited to start off a new year as the reigning champion. I've never gotten a chance to. Yes, thank you, thank you very much. But we've got a more important thing than talk about me and my finally winning after 8 years. We've got a new owner coming into the league, and JP Fortier has left the Quebec City Outlaws. And let me introduce to you our new owner into the league so that you can get a hold of him and start trying to talk trades. Hopefully, this will give you a better idea who you're dealing with. Welcome to the No Control Zone, Torin West. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for bugging me until I came across. Yeah, what to say? I'm long familiar with this format. I was part of the inaugural season of the West Coast Hockey Pool, which this is based on, and that started in 1999.
Awesome.
So yeah, but happy to see this classic format back in action, and yeah, so ready to get going on a new season. And you know, this inheriting a team business is well, we'll see what I have to do here.
Hey, I did it in WCHB and won, and I was left with nothing.
Yeah. Oh,
I was left with nothing, so it can be done.
Tear down, rebuild.
Yeah. JP, he wasn't exactly the most current, up-to-date owner.
I may see some signs of that early on here.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. And don't even bother trying to pawn Romanoff on me for 4 years.
Yeah.
That ain't happening. So tell us a little bit about yourself, as in what you do for work, how many kids you got, and etc.
Sure. Yeah, I got two daughters, 22, 25 now.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you remember seeing them as knee height or grass. I always say kids are like a time post in life.
Yeah.
You know, like you and I meet each other in the street, and it's like we saw each other 2 weeks ago, but it could have been 10 years. But
yeah,
people are like, you know, stop me and go, please tell me those aren't your kids. You know? Yeah. Or like people think I'm like dating my daughter, you know.
I went through that with Sarah. I went through that with Sarah and Liz as they got older like that. It's just crazy. I know people look at you. Just to let people know, me and Torin have known each other since the early 90s, like 91, I believe it was. We're basically enemies in the slow pitch era. There, it was my arch rival, and basically I got one of the best pitchers in the league. So Torin decided to poach her by marrying her and taking her over to the other side.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I remember those girls getting born. So
yeah.
Hey, I just got a question for you. Here's a trivia question for you. Do you remember how I got you to finally play for the Meladios under what team in a tournament? Do you remember the name?
Oh,
with Hollywood, you, and basically the Meladios.
Was it kind of? It wasn't. That's a good question.
Aha, gotcha on this one.
I'm thinking of tournament teams I was on that weren't splinters.
This was just one tournament. We only lasted one tournament. The Hollywood created enough chaos. I mean, the purple helmets. The purple.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Now it's all coming back. Yeah. Yeah. We did a few. M's Hot Pasta was a tournament team that we did, but I'm not sure if you were part of that or not. But
no.
With Emilio, old Italian guy, and we'd go back to his place for pasta afterwards. And he grew his own specialty hot peppers. So that's how that name came about. But
nice. Well, you know how the purple helmets came about. That would be Hollywood.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about Torin. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the team that you're replacing, Torin. You're replacing JP Forche's team. He was a Habs fan, and his franchise originated on the island. It was the Vancouver Island Chiefs, and about 3 years ago, he got posted to Quebec City and renamed the franchise the Quebec City Outlaws. And now you are moving them back to Vancouver Island, I would believe. And what is the name of choice?
Since we're lacking C, as in I got no captain, and I doesn't look like I have many centers. If you don't have any of the vitamin C, you end up with scurvy. So we're going West Coast scurvy.
All right. If you
So,
haven't checked out Torin's logo yet, go check it out. It's an awesome logo. I
yeah.
love it. So the scurvy are now entering
Yeah,
into the Nova
basically,
Scotia.
definitely a pirate theme because I think to survive early on, I'm gonna definitely have to be poaching players and
Yeah,
whatever I can from people, maybe even when they're not looking. So,
yeah,
yeah,
that's a good call. And I should let you know that just for trivia sake and knowing, and this should scare some of the other owners, is that we've had 8 cups, or no, we've had 7 cups in 8 years because of the COVID. Now, the Quebec City Outlaws never won a no control zone championship yet. They haven't won the Marty Bremen Cup yet.
yeah,
However, in the COVID season, when the season got stopped, there was 4 top teams. I believe we were going into the semifinals. So we just split the team in 4 ways. And the Vancouver Island, or yeah, I think they were Vancouver Island Chiefs, and they could have won that year. And they did get to the finals and lost. So you
woulda,
can,
coulda, shoulda.
yeah, you could put them on the map. And since we're now entering our 9th season, but have only had 7 cups because there wasn't a cup for the COVID year, uh, this give you hope. 6 out of the 7 cups have been won by former WCHP players.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, makes some sense there. I
Yeah,
can think of some people that probably come to mind.
yeah.
Yeah,
We already have a 3-time winner, and that would be Renee of the Harrison
oh, yeah,
Lakers.
yeah.
Yeah, only
I know
back-to-back
Renee very
champion.
well.
Yeah, and Keith won one, I've won one, and Dean won one. Yeah,
Yeah,
he won
not
one
surprising.
last year. However, I will say this in the defense of the other owners in the league: we took them from babes. They knew nothing about
Yeah,
fantasy hockey, and we
yeah,
had already all been in the West Coast hockey pool. And believe me, they've caught up. So,
yeah.
especially with your addition, I think. And this is nothing against JP, but he just didn't put a lot into his team. So I can tell you this: the Langway division with Torin in it now is now become a much tougher division to be in. The Bossy division's kind of dominated this whole thing here.
Okay, yeah.
So you'll meet one of our other commissioners, Al Gull. Well, you know
Yeah,
Al from WCHP. I forgot about Al
yeah.
uh, being in there. So yeah, you'll meet him. Oh, I was gonna say something, but I lost my train of thought. Smoked a patty right before we before we went on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the competition level rising and whatnot. And I should tell you a few things about the league, and I should tell the people that who are meeting you right now, please understand one thing about Torin, the same problem we kind of had with Keith in the early days, and that was the trade values in this league, Torin, are different. All right. So you might take a little time to get used to the adjustment of the trades. So if I can throw one thing out there for the fun of it, if a guy named Ryan Kelly ever sends you a trade request, he is by far the most fair trade guy in the league, in my opinion. He always sends you a
I'm gonna
trade
write
that
that down. Yeah,
it's almost if he sends you a trade, it's almost like there's no negotiations. You look
yeah,
at it and you go, yeah, that's fair. Both teams win that one.
yeah,
So yeah, if you want to get a good grasp on the trade, just watch Ryan Kelly. I mean, he's already got 3 trades in the hopper, and we haven't even opened trading opens up September 7th. So, and he's
yeah,
already got 3 trades done. I don't even know what they are.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a big proponent of like handshake deals in the
Yep.
summer sort of thing, and I do that in most of my leagues, and
Yeah.
very trustworthy and honest in that regard. And yeah, so for sure, everyone have a look at my roster, and there's a lot of The former GM wasn't a big spendthrift. I don't know what he's saving all the years for, but there's a lot of
You
one
know,
year, 2 year guys, and yeah, and
I
some.
don't think he ever got higher than a 47-year salary cap, and I could never figure it out. I was like,
Yeah, well,
I
he was saving up for something.
well, I
So
thought he was, but it never came.
yeah,
Every year it was like 47 years of cap, and I go, oh, he's thinking of making a big trade here or something. No,
yeah,
just never came.
he didn't make it easy on this fellow Habs fan. So
Yes, that's one thing that you haven't mentioned is that we've got a Habs fan replacing a Habs fan. So Torin is now our one and only Habs fan in the league, as JP was. So he's
yeah,
been following him forever.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, massive Habs fan. Have been since I was whatever 3 years old or whatever. But have a I'm also a realist. I have a rule I've had for years and years in hockey pools, and that was no Habs. But the current regime, I'm not going to be collecting Habs by any means, but there's certain ones that I would, probably be allowed to be on my team.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of good players there to be on it. And as you know, my problem has always been having too many Islanders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta have a double check there and make sure you're not just pushing the pedal to the metal there too much.
Well, the problem is you've got so many inside secrets on your own team, right?
That's right.
So
That's right.
you kind of know what's going on, and then all of a sudden I take a look at my prospects, and 6 of the 7 are Islanders.
Yeah.
And I go, not anymore. I straightened out that problem, and
Too
I'm a
much
little more.
information. It's too much information in one pipeline.
Yeah, absolutely. A shutout kind of kills you unless you got the goaltender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and even then you're going to get a loss. So it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. So anyway, we're looking real forward to it. So a lot of people in the league, Dean, Keith, Renee, Al, me.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good start for you. And I think that you'll find the guys in the league are a lot of really good guys.
Yeah.
One of the rules that we do have over here, if there's a trade made, we used to vote on every trade, but we don't do that anymore. What we do now is we have 3 commissioners, and what we do is we just approve the trades. But if somebody out there thinks that that's way out of line, that trade,
Yeah.
they can challenge it. And if they challenge it, there will be a league vote regardless.
Yeah.
And it will be taken back. We don't want any kind of collusion going on in really obvious bad collusion.
Yeah.
So that's why we've got that rule in there
For sure.
for that
Yeah.
purpose.
Only makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like going back to the original format. I know I'm happy with it. It was just so complicated for me there, and and it takes a lot to just run a league. So
Yeah. For
to
sure.
be able to do that, and then so that's why I had to leave WCHP. It was just too time consuming for me that I didn't have. So it's going to be good going back to the roots and enjoying it and that. So you got some real competition in your division, some rivalries there. You got
Yeah, I've taken a quick little scan there, but I'll be diving deeper here in the coming days and weeks for sure.
all right.
Yeah.
So you got the draft time, August 1st,
Yes.
6
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah, seems to be
Okay.
the popular day of,
Yes.
of most drafts.
Well, the one thing I'm going to say is, and we're letting it go this time because Ryan was good enough to do the arranging of it and whatnot, but I usually have a hassle every year. So we have just set the first Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific every year. And we'll be going back to that next year. And so that way everybody's got plenty of time if they need to book the day off at work and that. Like we have some RCMP in here and that, they just can't get any day off and whatnot. And poor Dono there, he missed I think 2 drafts in a row, so
Yeah.
that killed him for years, right?
Yeah, you got to have that queue stacked properly.
Yeah, and even then it doesn't really, you can't do it 100% great. So
No.
yeah, it really hurt him for sure. So we want to get everybody in on the drafts and whatnot and stuff. So yeah, so there's a little bit of I'll tell you a little bit of the history of the league. The league was made for Air Force air traffic controllers. At the time there was 11 of 14 owners were Air Force, and then we expanded 2 more teams, which were 2 more one Air Force and another Civvy Guide command. And it got mostly everybody was here in Comox, but this league is now spread right across the country. We got somebody almost in a lot of different provinces. We got somebody in Florida right now.
Wow,
And so we decided to name the cup the Croydon Cup. And so Croydon was the first airfield that had air traffic control in it. We thought, hey, cool, that'd be a good name. However, we lost one of our owners about 3 years, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. I can't even remember. Marty Brayman, who was a OG owner in this league, was posted to Florida, and he was murdered while he was down there. And so we renamed the cup to the Marty Brayman Cup. So just to let you know a little bit of the history behind the cup here in this league. And think about you every day, Marty. Miss you, man. For sure, 100%. Well, I'm glad to be getting a Habs fan in there, and I know somebody who's going to definitely take care of his team and watch it. One other thing I should tell you about, I'm going to be doing a podcast on this later. I'm just going to touch lightly on this subject. I don't know how your other leagues have been and whatnot, but in this league, tanking is almost kind of encouraged. It's actually become an event in our league where we've had some wild races for the first overall pick, right? And so you got 6 injured guys, you put them into your lineup, that's fine. If you got 4 healthy guys on the bench.
I'm surprised though. I'm surprised to hear that there's a lot of tank commanders when you guys are mainly Air Force.
Look at that! Good job. Yeah, me and Ryan Kelly, we had a tank battle for the ages, man. I tell you, this one was wild. I had a fairly good team, and I kept trying to hold on to stay in the bottom 4 to get that first overall pick, right? And it came down to the wire, and Ryan got me right at the end. So, have you taken a look at the draft list this year?
I've certainly scanned through some of it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The players available. If JP didn't do you wrong on the draft picks.
Yeah. No, he's yeah.
So
I was happy to see some still there. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you got a 4th pick, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just off the top of my head, top 4 players are Marners, Matthews, Vasilevsky, and McDavid. So,
yeah,
you're getting one of those 4 guys.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Somebody else that's behind them, they're not bad
if
either.
If I hold on to that pick.
What's that?
If I hold on to that pick.
Ooh, look at that. Torin's already throwing out possibly trading the 4th overall pick. Hey,
are there some big Leaf fans? Because I've got their potential #1 goalie and maybe a Matthews and Marner. They might be interested.
Are you talking about Murray? Matt Murray?
No, Samsonov.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Murray might be #1 for a couple of weeks till he gets injured again. So
what a bunch of clowns. What were they thinking? Like, seriously, you got a team that can compete right now, and you get Matt Murray and Samsonov.
Well, they got to keep the streak going, right? You can't win around with no goalie. So there you go.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much I think we covered it pretty much all. So we're welcoming to the No Control Zone Torin West and his team, the West Coast Scurvy, because he doesn't have enough centers, and needs a little vitamin C on that team.
And I hope I'm, sort of a Navy theme. I hope I'm not offending anyone out there.
No, that's good. You're Vancouver Island. You're Vancouver. Oh, well, actually, Marty was ex-Navy, and I was.
There you go.
And I'm ex-Navy.
There you go. Perfect.
There we go. So, yeah, fit in just nicely. I'm really happy to have you in the league, Torin. And I've had my eye on you for years, to be honest, because my goal of this league has always been to have 16 competitive owners that are paying attention to their league. And we've had owners who once the playoffs end and they didn't make the playoffs, they just leave.
Yeah.
And there's still something to play for even if you're out, like that first overall pick or best over getting your pick in that. So you might as well compete for it, right? So as a matter of fact, JP probably had, now that I think about it, JP had 2 4th overall picks where he could have probably had a 1 and a 2 if he actually had to set his lineups.
Yeah.
And that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. so a lot of those 1 years maybe sitting on the sidelines when they didn't need to be.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up now. Really glad to have you with the league, Torin. Yeah, like I said, I had my eye on you for a couple of years. I also had my eye on Dean, and we scooped him up. Was that expansion? No, I think it was another franchise relocation as well.
Yeah.
We still got a lot of OGs, but we just lost our last original team name, brewing up some suds who are now the Lincoln Salt Dogs, who is Ryan Kelly, was the last franchise to have their original name. I'm the Courtney Islanders, but once upon a time I was the Vancouver Islanders. So there's no OG names left. The Scurvy are now in the league. We're looking forward to seeing you. So any last words to say to the guys about trades or whatever? You're open.
Yeah, no, I mean, just real happy to be on board, and looking forward to meeting all these new people, and sort of continuing relationships with the people I already do know. Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. That's awesome. We couldn't be happier to have you, and looking forward to an exciting season this year. I'm looking to tie a league record of becoming the second person to go back-to-back. Renee, I've thrown out the gauntlet on you.
Yeah.
Have you checked out Renee's money winnings yet? On the side?
No, but you said 3 titles. It's got to be up there for sure.
Yeah, $3,400.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Keith's doing pretty well too. So
yeah.
I give you a little bit of our breakdowns here. Basically, we give 250 to the regular season winner in cash, and then we break it down from there. We go 70, 30, and 10 for second and third place. So that's how those break down. There's category wins. They're only $15 a piece, but the 7 categories, right? So give it out like that. So we try to divide it up as best we can. Plus obviously whoever wins the CDS, which we call it the CDS, which is the first overall, whoever wins the other division also gets $100 too. So there's lots of different areas. So we've kind of spread out the cash because we're not trying to gouge everybody. Plus, one other difference you may notice from the WCHP is we don't charge for drops.
Okay.
Only pickups.
Okay.
And I think there's still only $1, and I think the trades are $2.50 or $2 or $2.50. I can't remember. All I know is one year Ryan Kelly racked up $175 in transactions.
Oh yeah, well, I'll see what I can do about that.
But that's without drop charges.
Hey, it's all entertainment, right? Like,
yeah, and basically the buyouts are the same, like $5 per year. If you have any prospects on your team that you haven't checked, you can drop them before the season. Before the draft.
Okay, yeah, I tried to drop Radulov already because he's KHL bound. And
I've got them all blocked off right now. So I'll be on the 7th. I'll be opening everything up.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, that's about all I got for you tonight. Like I said already, Torin, so glad to have you. So everybody out there, you guys and girls, you take care and peace out.